Welcome back to the Oracle Scroll. Today we're looking at retribution. Hi, I'm Kevin Walder, your host for the Oracle Scroll. And today we're looking at card number 30, which is Retribution. Now, retribution sometimes carries a bit of a negative connotation because people associate it with revenge, with setting the record straight, making amends. It's a punitive kind of assessment on a person who has perhaps transgressed in some way. It's kind of a natural human instinct to desire retribution because it feels like the person is being taught a lesson, perhaps. It is a punishment over and above the making amends and atoning for their wrongdoing. This goes beyond that and becomes more of a deterrent, perhaps, in the future. And that's kind of how it's always been used. In our modern world, one of the greatest controversies that we have is the death penalty. And the theory that defends the death penalty says that it's a deterrent. It would cause people to think twice about committing a crime that might earn them that penalty. The opposite side tends to assess the impact of that deterrent as not too great. It doesn't seem to have worked the way we had hoped. And like most man-made policies, they have a lot of failings and a lot of things that will cause problems in the future for us to explain. But retribution is something that we need to recognize for ourselves. When do we need to take responsibility? Now, the word retribution tends to deal more with a moral transgression, one that is defined as a moral transgression, and that would include any kind of physical crime committed by an individual. So this is something that we have to think long and hard about. What is retribution? What is an appropriate retribution? And how do we go about assessing it? And do we hold everyone accountable to the same degree? That's another controversy within our modern world, is that we seem to be very strict with those who lack power and perhaps the monetary advantages to be able to fight a particular charge. And we tend to be very lenient with those who are in a more privileged situation. So retribution in our modern world has come to be, it's corrupted, much like most of the things that we deal with in our society today. It is no longer the deterrent that it was intended to be, and it becomes more of a revenge kind of situation rather than something that is to teach a lesson, something that is a learning experience for the person so that they can be rehabilitated. Now, the idea of retribution goes back to rehabilitating the person who may have just basically not been aware of how devastating their actions were, or maybe they were aware but not as keenly acquainted with the situation as they needed to be, and retribution was designed to bring them face to face with it so that they would perhaps look a little more carefully at their actions in the future. So yes, there is a place for retribution. Unfortunately, we don't see it being applied evenly across our society, and that is a definite problem. It's something we will need to address as we go forward. And this is card number 30, which on a numerological scale would be a 3. And that just basically goes back to the work. Now, if you think about the Ace, 2, and 3, those are the work cards. So you've got the beginning, you've got the launch, and then the 3 is, oh my goodness, this is what I've done. And now what do I do? How do I go forward? So it's something that we will want to keep our sights on. How will we make amends and as well demonstrate that we have learned from the experience, so that we maybe lessen the need for others to impose a system of retribution on us as we function in this society. So is this something that we can help others with? Okay, yes, we can. We can again offer suggestions, but we always have to let them be the ones who finally recognize their situation, recognize who they are and what their actions have said about them, so that they may move forward at a pace that is appropriate for them. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Oracle Scroll. Please visit my website at kevinwalder.com, where you can purchase any of the services that I offer. Also, check out my books, Tarot for Lunch, Lessons from the Cards, and 22 Teachers, Healing Lessons from the Major Arcana. Both are available now at Amazon.com. And most importantly, never miss another episode. Click below, click the subscribe button and the bell to make sure you're always up to date.